Welcome back, and I have an announcement to make. Um, None of you should still be the same person you were 5 years ago. So if you are the same person you were 5 years ago, maybe we should talk about it. But I want to talk about this notion of change being bad because being a new person is considered as not keeping it real or not being true to yourself. But I have just I guess 5 points. This is more like a montage episode about why it's okay to change. And if you haven't changed, consider changing. So with that, let's just jump straight into it. If you are new to this channel, my name is Quenisha and this is Be a Better Baddie. During this episode, I love to say episode. I'm used to recording a podcast, but I guess this is kind of an episode. But during this video, I'm going to be doing my nails because I like to do my nails every week and why not? So if you want to do your nails too, you might as well just start your nails. So I'm going to start by just clipping and pushing my cuticles back a little bit. I did have a manicure about 2 weeks ago. I usually go get manicures, I'm going to say every 2 months, just so they can like clip my cuticles and stuff. I usually paint my own nails and wear press on nails because that's fun. That's fun to me. And then let me get my notebook up. So we'll be starting with our first key point. First key point being whoever you want to be, you have the free reign to be them. So, like I said earlier, there's this idea that you have to be the same person, right? We have to keep it real. We have to remain true to ourselves. I thought of another key point that I'm going to write down actually that I want to discuss. But we have this idea that people can't change or anything like that. But if you feel like you want to change or you feel like something in your life needs to change in order for it to be more beneficial to you, you should just go for it, right? Nobody has to sit with you all day long except for yourself. You are the only person that has to actually live, breathe, and accept yourself. So why not do things to make yourself happy with yourself? It doesn't make sense. So whenever other people do have something to say about it, it's really irrelevant because in the grand scheme of things, if you are happy and you aren't hurting anyone, you should be able to do that. The second point in terms of changing yourself is you are what you do. So a lot of our identity is based around the habits we have, the things we habitually do. If I These are all my press on nails. I don't think I'm going to do press on nails. I think I want to paint my nails. Yeah, I think I want to paint my nails. I'm just going to clip them a little bit. So if I am a smoker, right, that means I habitually smoke. If I am a runner, then that means I habitually run. So we identify with the things we do, the habits we have. Your identity is formed from the habits you have. Oh, I don't want to clip that. That's scary. And I do want to say I'm not a pro at this at all. So if you think this is a nail tutorial, honey, it's not. It's not. Um, but yeah, so in terms of that, knowing that your identity shapes who you are, who do you want to be? What do you want to be? Think about that. So I know I want to be a podcaster, a YouTuber, a content creator. So some of the habits those people may have are prioritizing these things, right? Especially when you have a full-time job. I have a full-time job, so I have to create the time and create the space to actually record. I have to even create the creative space, I guess, to record as well. So, whatever you want to be or whoever you want to be, you have to do the habits that align with that person and think about the things that person even does. So, I know that I want to be a person, a healthy person. I know that I want to identify as a person that has healthy habits, one that works out, eats generally healthy, eat, consumes healthy things, does healthy habits, right? Mentally, physically, and emotionally. So knowing that I identify, because one, it's not I want to identify as a healthy person, I am a healthy person. I'm not going to do things or create habits around unhealthy things. So I'm not going to eat fast food every day. I am going to eat as many vegetables as possible. I am going to read books. I am going to watch the media that I do consume because I know that affects my brain, my psyche. Okay? I know these things, so I'm going to create healthy habits around that identity of me being a healthy person. Healthy people do certain things, right? Healthy people don't pull up to Krispy Kreme every day. I do love Krispy Kreme. I really do. But healthy people don't do that. So I don't do that. I don't do that. But if I were, because I said a smoker, if I were a smoker, one of the habits that I would pick up on is obviously smoking. Um, and that would infiltrate into everything, right? So maybe when I'm out to a restaurant, I would need to leave to go smoke. If I'm at work, I need to take a break to go smoke. Do smokers still get smoke breaks, like legal smoke breaks? I don't know. But let's pick our color. Um, hmm, what color are we thinking? What month is it? It's January still. I'm gonna do a red. I'm gonna do red. This burgundy. And then let me get my top coat. I'm gonna do the I don't I saw this on YouTube so many years ago, but I still use it. So I'll do this and then I'll do a layer with the jealous and then I'll do another layer of this and then I'll do my top coat with the Seche Vite. Seche Vite. The next thing in terms of you becoming a new person is believe that the small changes do add up. So when you're trying, this is really tied to this previous point, right? Of you creating habits of being the person that you want to be. The second part to becoming the person that you want to be is actually building those habits, right? But creating a habit isn't doesn't mean you just wake up one day and you completely overhaul the life you were living because one, that is very, very, very unsustainable. Another side note, I'm glad I'm keeping all these side notes in. I was on TikTok the other day and I saw a Russian manicure, but I don't want to go and get one. So I'm gonna have to go get it done. But their nails look really pretty. The person who did it. And then I just looked them all up. Russian manicures are really cute. But it's not about just waking up the next day and saying, you know what, I'm gonna throw away. I have seen this on TV before. I'm not sure if this works because I've never done it. But like when people want to start eating healthy, they just go in and throw away all of their snacks in their pantry, for instance. And they go to the grocery store and do a complete overhaul. And now it's their fridge is filled with fruits and veggies and whole grains, etc. And that's not the way they were living before. It had absolutely nothing to do with the lifestyle that they were living. So that's what I think about when I think of a large overhaul. There is no need to do that because it is not going to work. It won't work. And I've done this before because when I wanted to, a couple of years ago, I used to work out in the afternoons. But I wanted to start working out in the morning. Like I wanted to create a morning routine, not just have my mornings being waking up, getting ready to go to work, um, walking my dog, going to work. I wanted to do more in the morning. So I started to create a morning routine. And when I tried to create this new habit, I literally crashed the first day. So I woke up 5, 4 a.m., whenever. I went to the gym, tried to do my full lifting routine in the gym. Mind you, my body is not used to waking up at that, wasn't used to waking up at that time. So I'm in the gym and I'm literally dying because I'm trying to deadlift my heaviest weight I can do at the end of the day. at 5 a.m. in the morning, and it did not work out for me. Then I go home and I try to eat, and I'm not used to eating in the morning. So now I'm trying to eat this breakfast. I don't eat the breakfast. I leave it there. I make it to work. I remember I was still teaching, and I was exhausted, eggs to the austed. That didn't line up, but that's how I felt. I was exhausted that day, and it was because I tried to do too much in one day instead of trying to make small incremental changes. So if I could go back to that day, which I mean, I started doing this because I started doing that after. So as a result of me crashing and burning that day, I was like, okay, how about I wake up and I don't go and do a full bodybuilder workout? So instead of doing my full workout and all that, I just started on the treadmill. I was like, my body's clearly not used to waking up this early. I clearly need to ease into this. And I then prepped my breakfast because I was like, okay, you're not clearly hungry. I was used to eating right after my workout. Whenever I was done working out, I would just go and eat immediately after when I worked out in the afternoon. It didn't work. So then I had to prep my breakfast and bring it with me to work. I then also had to monitor my energy levels. I was like, this is when I'm starting to get a little tired. What can I do? I had to go to sleep earlier. I had to start all over because I went into it the wrong way. So step by step changes, I'm sorry, small changes will always, always be the best way to go whenever you're trying to create a habit. So you becoming this new person, don't try to do a complete 180 because you're gonna crash and burn, boo. The fourth thing for you to keep in mind while you are becoming this new version of yourself is to keep your why in mind. So your why is what's gonna drive you. Why did you decide to start dressing up more? And I'm going to talk about that because that's my example. So why did you want to dress up more? Why do you want to study more? Why do you want to read more? Remembering why you started doing all these little things will always keep you motivated, or not motivated per se, because we know motivation goes away, but remembering your why will keep you aligned and on track with your goals. So a few years ago, I wanted to start dressing up more. I was tired of dressing lackadaisical, especially as a teacher. You don't really have the need to dress up per se, especially because I was teaching younger kids. So I was not dressing up. But it also, I always saw this vision of myself like as a working professional that I would be dressing up. And I was like, what is this? So it's always easier in the morning to not get dressed up, to not put effort into my look, to not want to put on a little makeup, to not try to even wear heels, etc. Like putting effort into the way I look and me being ultimately satisfied with it. But remembering why I want to do it, and it's literally the why is so simple because that's what I envisioned for myself when I was younger. And me doing that every day is keeping that promise to my younger self, really. Like, I know there's a rhyme and a reason to it, but I don't think that deeply into it. Like, oh, people will take me more seriously. Like, people will think I'm more professional or so. All that is very true, but literally, I just remember when I was younger. Let me tell the backstory to this. When I was younger, I watched Legally Blonde. We all know Legally Blonde with Reese Witherspoon. That's sis. So when I saw her like getting ready to go to college and she was shopping and she went to college and the way she went to class every day and she was just dressed up all the time, and I was like, wow, that's what I want to do. So I literally remember making a list of all of the clothes I wanted to buy when I went to college. So whenever that movie came out, if it I forgot what year it came out in, but whatever age I was, like I had already started writing my shopping list for college at that point because I was like, I need to I need to wear pink suits to class. Like, why would I not have matching two-piece sets for every day of the week? So literally it's me keeping my younger self happy. Like that's what I think about. So remember your why, and then this ties into the next point. doing it for future me. Do it for future you, because future you, let me let my nails dry a little bit more. So before I move on to the next point, so I obviously am not a professional painter, but let me tell you something. When you take a shower, all the stuff on the side, it comes off after like 2 or 3 showers. So don't stress about it. Okay, so doing things for future me. I always past self was looking out for future self. This is the first version, the first example I thought about is me going out. So before I go out at night, knowing if I know I'm gonna have a crazy night, I will make sure I have water by the bed. I will have my pajamas laid out. I'll have my headscarf ready for me, my bonnet, or whatever I'm gonna be wearing. Just everything that I do need to get into bed and take a shower and everything prepared so I don't have to look for it. So removing that barrier for Quenisha that comes home after being out and she knows she's tired, but she knows she still wants to take a shower. She knows she still wants to do her skincare routine. Like everything is laid out right there. There is no need to look for anything. It's all right there. That is what I mean, looking out for your future self. So the future self you're looking out for could be that immediate future self, as in a few hours from now, or it can be the long-term future self. Look out for both future selves, because either way, it's you doing the hard work right now to set yourself up for success in the future. So when I it's the same thing as working out. The immediate future version of myself is going to appreciate the endorphin boost that I get from working out. The immediate future version of me is going to appreciate moving my body around before I sit pretty still at work all day. The long term future of myself is going to appreciate the long term benefits of me engaging in physical activity, etc. So, with you thinking about changing or becoming this new version of yourself, think about what your future self would want. Think about all the things your future self does and start setting yourself up for that. Start doing the things that your future self does. Start prepping your future self. The last thing I want to add about this, becoming the new version of yourself, or if you're taking the steps to become this new version of yourself, is uncomfortable with change. It's going to be very uncomfortable because you won't reach to do the things that, well, you shouldn't. You may, but it'll be difficult, right? So you need to start choosing to do the things that the future version of yourself, or the new version of yourself, whatever you want to call this new version of yourself, right? You're going to start making decisions that don't lie in your comfort zone anymore. So me, if I'm a smoker, right? I love to smoke a cigarette, right? I'm gonna have to choose to not pick up a cigarette. I'm gonna have to choose when I'm out with my friends after I eat that meal. I can't say, "Hey guys, I'm gonna go out for a smoke." I have to sit there and like, "Oh, I gotta sit with my friends. I can't. I'm not gonna go out and smoke." So becoming comfortable with uncomfort, discomfort. That's the word. Lord have mercy. Becoming comfortable with discomfort is gonna. I'm still trying to decide if I want to put another coat on here because I think this looks good. I think I just want to put my top coat on. But yeah, that's with anything, even with working out. And I think that my biggest struggle, I think, is becoming uncomfortable with changing my eating habits. So I love, I like to eat, but I think it's hard for me to say no to my cravings, right? If I want a burger, I will sit there and think about the burger and I'm just like, why not? Why not? But I also think we're in a place now in our society where it's like we don't value discipline. We don't value being productive. We don't value hard work because I sound like Kim Kardashian. Nobody wants to work anymore. But no, nobody wants to feel uncomfortable anymore because it's just like, why would I do that? Like, I want to live the soft life. I want to live the life of the least resistance possible. And I think all that is fine, dandy, and fun, but it doesn't always end the right way. It doesn't always end with you getting what you want by taking the easy way out. So sometimes you have to do things that are uncomfortable, or you have to push through, or you have to say no to your instincts, because your instincts, of course, are the things that got you to where you are now. Good or bad, whether you like it or not, your instincts and your habits have made you into the person that you are today. If you are feeling like you want to change, then you have to change some of those habits, right? So I will leave you guys with that. I'm almost done with my nails. I'll just show you the finished version at the end of this. But if you like what you heard today, please be sure to subscribe, share this video with a friend. If you want to listen to my past podcasts that are not on YouTube, then you can click the link in the show notes box. That's not a show notes box. This is not a podcast. What is that called? You know, the box down there, right? I'm going to have links down there to my podcast. So wherever you listen to, whether it is Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Pandora, Castbox, there's so many podcast apps out there. Um, you can find that, and you can also subscribe to that as well if you ever don't feel like watching me, you rather just listen to me, or you want to see what I've been up to in the past before you met me. So, with that, I am calling it a night. It is nighttime. And I will see you guys later. Bye.